All right. Hello and welcome everyone to Court of the Rings here on twitch.tv/LotraStream, youtube.com/Lord of the Rings/live, and facebook.com/Lotro. I'm Lotro's community manager Cordovan, and with me is Druid's Fire. How you doing, Druid's Fire?
I'm doing okay. How you doing, sir?
Good. We're going to be doing some epic book questing in Moria a little bit later on today, but I wanted to start off with a little bit of news and Q&A and get you started if you are interested on the Ill Omens skirmish event. The Ill Omens skirmish event kicked off yesterday at 10 a.m. Eastern and will be going here for a little while. I will get you the exact dates here in just a second, but they are available on the event calendar if you want to know the exact start and stop time of said event. But the Ill Omen skirmish event is something that you'll find at multiple skirmish camps, and I will kind of explain a little bit how to get started on that here in just a little bit. It runs through March 11th, being shut off at 3 a.m. Eastern on March 12th. Now, 3 a.m. Eastern is a time you may wish to know as well, because the skirmishes that apply to the Ill Omens event change up every day. And then the time that they change up is 3 a.m. Eastern, -5 GMT. Now, for this first 24-hour period, there was a little bit of a glitch in our kind of world event system thing where I did not have it synced correctly, so instead it updated at 10 a.m. Eastern, but that is not going to be the case from here on out. So 3 a.m. Eastern time is when these skirmishes will update. So I am on an admin character right now, and the person you're going to want to speak to is Netta Pinleaf. Netta Pinleaf. And you'll know that you need to speak to Netta Pinleaf if you go over to the Ill Omens icon by your sort of character portrait there. Terrible omens of death and decay have emerged from the shadows to trouble the peoples of Middle-earth. Brave skirmishers should seek out Netta Pinleaf and Bree Oscalad or the 21st Hall to learn more. I have not actually been to Oscalad yet, but I've been to the 21st Hall and Bree. And in Bree, it's pretty easy. It's just located near the South Gate, which is a very common place to be able to get to. So you may well end up meeting Netta Pinleaf here at the very start. So on this admin character, I've not actually done the dialogue yet, so I can kind of walk through this with you. Skirmish Assault, Shadows of Dol Guldur. And you'll see in the Skirmish Assault here, let me make sure that this is showing up on the map. Okay, it is. You'll see the Ill Omens wrappers associated with that particular day. And by completing you don't have to do all of them, but if you want to do the deeds, you need to do either 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5 of them to be able to move ahead on that deed, and that deed is for Tier 3 completion. And you'll get tokens of Ill Omen for doing that. So if you want to find out more about that, you can open up then the quest log to skirmishes. It'll tell you more about the Ill Omens event. You have basically 12 days of stuff to do, and then you get the wrapper reward. So at this point, then, like I say, there's a bunch of skirmishes that you can do, and then you'll open up your skirmish panel. By completing, you get a box of essences, including a gold essence. All right, so Control J. Some people don't know that. You know, it's... Maybe you did the tutorial quest and you haven't really done much since. Well, here's what you need to do. Open up the instance finder by hitting Control J and then go down to Skirmish. And you will see the various skirmishes that you can take part in. If you cannot yet do one for whatever various reason, you will need to flag for it or perhaps purchase it or something like that if you don't have it. So let's say you need to do Skirmish Assault Strongholds of the Free Peoples. You'll kind of go down to the various skirmishes here. Let's see. Treacherous Wilds, Beneath the World, or Shadows of Dol Guldur. Anyway, you'll just kind of go to the various skirmishes that you want to do. Like, I know yesterday was the Battle of the 21st Hall, and then you'll go into the skirmish there itself. So, all right. Anything else we need to say about that Druid's Fire that you can think of that maybe I didn't cover? You find out where the NPC is by going over to your avatar. You'll speak to the avatar by any of the skirmish camps, basically, in Galad or whatever that was, 21st Hall or Bree by the South Gate here. And then it'll tell you which skirmishes to complete, and then you'll complete those skirmishes. You do need to be, skirmishes, you in some cases have to have the epic book associated, completed, or what have you. So you may not be able to do all skirmishes every day, but it's an event. And when you're in these skirmishes, you'll see these things called harbingers. They're one of 10 different monsters that you'll be defeating. And for defeating these harbingers, you move forward the deed, and you must kill all 10 in order to complete the deed. All right, let me move over to our chat room here real quick before I switch. Actually, I can switch characters now while I'm doing that.
So you were going to ask me a question, but I'm going to ask you a question. The obvious one that immediately came up when this event was announced, and then we got some more information about it. So these are Omens, are harbingers of Minas Morgul. What can you tell us about that, Jerry?
Harbingers? Minas Morgul?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a place.
Don't you do me like Severlin did? Oh, there's a lot of orcs in Gundabad.
Yeah. Well, so here's the status of the producer's letter. The status of the producer's letter, probably the next big question I would assume is come up in chat, even if I haven't seen it yet. It is basically written and out for the various kind of legal and license approval and all that sort of thing that needs to be done. It takes a little bit of time, and when it comes back, it'll get sent out for translation, and then it'll get published. But it is written, and it is out at this point then for various approvals that need to be approved, and once they're approved, then it'll get localized and published. So we're getting pretty close on that, and that may relate to some of the question you just asked me. We are looking into getting answers to some of the kind of confusion and bug reports we've received about, hey, I thought I killed a harbinger and didn't get credit for it, things like that. And we are working to get you answers on that sort of thing. When did Cord get a level 100 burglar? That was just my admin character. Men with beards are happier, healthier, and more attractive. Well,
I would agree with that.
They're definitely warmer in the winter.
The next step actually is a solo, so you might as well do it on your own.
Oh, okay.
I need your help, my friend.
Your fan club would agree with the statement, by the way.
Oh,
the
no,
Bucket Holders is their official name, by the way.
I am completely out of inventory space. Where's the nearest person I can sell things to?
Outside.
Yeah. And here I thought I was ready for the show this week. Almost. Yeah. So I am working on some of those Harbinger kill kind of related questions. I think there's some question about when, like, you can't kill the same Harbinger multiple times in a row. There's certain things that you can't. Have to be within, what, 9 levels of each other related to the level you go in on, right? So that might be somewhat related to it as well, depending. Could also be that there's a bug, which is something we're hopefully working on. Where is the vendor out here? I don't see. Oh, kind of this way, maybe.
It is hoped that Barleen's company discovered Mithril.
I don't want to... I actually need to spend a little time in my inventory. I had actually done that, but I guess I did on the wrong character. Durr.
And you're still not sending me or using your rep tokens. Hey, I mean, if you don't want to have a class trait point, then don't do it. I don't care.
I'm the worst. I know. This is absolutely true. The worst. That should get me good enough to get through the day here anyway. So on the Omens thing, though, we are looking into those reports, and as soon as we know more, we'll pass it. So I think it's 9 levels in either direction. Like if you put the
I thought it was 5.
If you put it, no, I think it, but that's correct when you go in either direction, right? 5 above or 5 below, and then at the level, something like that. Because you can't be 10 levels apart, but you can be basically 9 levels apart.
I need
right?
your help, my friend. It is time now to set my plan into motion.
Saruman's attempts to bring the orcs of Moria under his sway will only be ended
Any chance
when
we'll
his
see
minions
class
perish.
set bonuses
The
for the
valor of
raid
the
armor?
dwarves
I
must
don't
be
know that
relied
it would
upon
be
in these
class
dark
specific
times.
set bonuses.
At Starsna,
I think that that's
the white
a question
hand
we'll just kind of have
must
to
be
wait and
cut
see
off.
on. T3 should be max level. It is not correct. It's basically within the level range of the skirmish you're running it on relative to your character. I don't really know what other questions here to mention here. It's gonna be so bad watching Cord do this. Oh god. Is this a dwarven stealth mission? Oh, is it? Wave
Yes.
at Bori to demonstrate the signal. Okay. That's it exactly. I know that means the coast is clear. I think everything's gonna be alright. Hold up, my friend. Oh, no, it's the wrong way. Wasn't paying enough attention. Yeah, okay. So tracks pass over that gap in the rocks. Yeah. Ribbonweir wants to know if there are plans to level cap 105 armor at level 115, so people cannot use set bonuses that either don't exist or are, quote, incredibly overpowered. I think the intention would be to remain consistent regarding the capping of armor by level, so if that's not the case yet for that specific set of level gear, perhaps that's something we would do in the future. But we're not going to do anything out of the norm there. Was intentional. Are you aware that for the T3 deed in Ill Omens, you need to do a 3-man T3 skirmish? All others are 1-man minimum. That could be true. I don't know that that was necessarily intentional, although skirmishes, all skirmishes were eligible. Wooden platform, make a run for it once you're underneath the wave for me to join you if the coast is clear. Okay. So this is a kind of a new event system that we're trying out, see if people like it or not, and if we'll kind of see what people feel. If you're enjoying the skirmish event, it'll get people maybe checking out skirmishes they have not otherwise checked out or run, and get you some pretty cool rewards. You get some cosmetic rewards along with statted gear. I think we'll see. There are no plans that I'm aware of to release new skirmishes, but if something like this were to become a particularly popular event, that might well indicate that it's something we should be doing. Okay, let's see. Statted gear. I will pass along that suggestion, Aerodilling, and question about on-or unlocking of Tier 3 content. I don't have a good answer for you here on the stream. So, Ill Omens came together relatively quickly, and is something that we're kind of experimenting around with. So we wanted to make sure it was in place and working before we talked a lot about it. We know skirmishes are something a lot of people play, but a lot of people don't really play that much. And so it seemed like something to maybe be a little more low-key about. But it's been enjoyable. And hopefully people enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, well, that's fine too. There's lots of other things you can do.
Asfar sought only to frighten us with those words.
But hopefully you'll dig it.
As much as his father.
Alright, Chamber at the Crossroads. Let me... There's a kind of an overhanging question about what I mean by statted gear. Let me see if I can call that up for you here. All right. Got the page in front of me now. Sorry, it's taken me a little bit of time to get to this. So yeah, 10 new enemies. And where do I have the... There's the deed. Lieutenants. Alright, so the cosmetic stuff you can get is basically a cosmetic sienna goat, a fiery yellow beetle, these are cosmetic pets, a corrupt crabin, then there's a cloak associated with it that you can get both hooded and not. You will get an event barter token, that's where you get the gold essence from. And then treasure profiles, let's see. Yeah, so I guess it is just cosmetic rewards then, no statted event. Statted items per se. Okay. Thanks for giving me the chance to look that one up. Where is Mazog's Peach? Do you have any idea?
I'm sorry, say again?
Mazog's Reach. The Bosie in the Chamber of the Crossroads. Yeah. A little ways away. Oh, there we go.
Oh, you already took the quest and moved on. Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
I want to go north from... You're not going the right... You can swift travel from the 21st now.
I can what?
You could have swift traveled from the 21st hall to the Chamber of the Crossroads now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I'm running there now. It's fine. Anyway, so the skirmish event is something I got started with doing a little bit last night on my kinship night and had a pretty good time with it. I think if you have not checked out skirmishes, perhaps this will motivate you to check some of them out. What else would you guys like me to talk about? We talked a little bit about the State of the Producers letter that is written and out for various licensing. And approvals. So we're getting along pretty good there. That should have a pretty good look at our roadmap for all of 2019 here, so that's pretty exciting. It gives a look at a lot of goals that we have, and you'll learn a lot more about the whens and whats of various things. We did update the loot box page. You can find on lotro.com in the news section there. We also did put it out on social media that the page got updated That updated to include like the Travelers and Adventurers boxes along with the most recent batch of stuff that got added to the loot box, and it also provides some explanation to you about how that works. If you want to learn more about that. Not too surprisingly, keeping up to date on that thing has proven a little more challenging than anticipated. So, but it should be up to date as of now, as of yesterday. But if some of the content is incorrect on it or what have you, that's something I'm going to have to track down with probably all of you to kind of see what the correct answer is and get that stuff up to date. Oh, knock me down, why don't you, Elder Moria Rider? Fine. So, Druid's Fire.
Yes.
Why don't, while I'm killing these rider things and that, we take a minute to talk a little bit about the Hall of Fire. So I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. As we mentioned last week, the Hall of Fire will be a new show run on Signum U, alternating Fridays, starting in 2 weeks, where Cordovan, myself, and a couple of other Signum folks are going to be playing Lord of the Rings tabletop with Master Richard Rowland as our lore master, or GM as you might know. And you are all welcome to come hang out and watch us before you tune in for Big Ed Mustafa over here at 10 o'clock. But it will be 9 to 11 Eastern time. And Jerry, you are like really lost.
Apparently, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going to politely suggest to chat you might want to stop being a little bit rude to the devs. The snark is not wanted.
Sorry, the problem is I'm multitasking. I'm not paying attention
know you
to where
are.
I'm going.
Let me go find you.
Yeah. Otherwise, whatever.
It's all good. People have a little bit of salt going on, and they need to take it someplace else if they be so kind. Also, bearing in mind, folks, the skirmish event is brand new, so there are liable to be things that were never QA'd. It would never come up in a QA environment, so having players test it out and give positive feedback is helpful. And that doesn't matter which game company it is or how much QA they did beforehand. There's some things that will not track in a live until you see it in the live environment. Hey, look, you're still alive. Would you follow me, please?
Oh, well, that's where I was going then. But I just got attacked. People telling me I was going the wrong way and I was lost. I was going the right way. Going exactly the way that...
No.
No?
No.
I'm
Of course,
down
if you
again.
just taken the swift travel, you'd have been fine. But no, Court forgot about swift travel.
Yeah, getting some XP. It's fine. I've been leveling up a little bit on Anor as well lately.
Yeah. I need to talk to you about that, actually.
Nope.
I just bought an
I am
island
going
pit
forward on
house
my own.
Anor.
I'm not waiting for anybody. I'm getting this done. I'm leveling up is what I'm trying to do. And part of that is by not waiting for other people.
So what's your character level there on Honor?
Well, I just had a couple of days in recent days to do it, so I'm 18, I think, something like that.
Nice.
My reading has
And
confirmed
I understand
my
you're playing a
suspicions,
champion?
friend.
Yes.
We are in great
Hey,
danger.
look, you dinged.
I will tell you what I have learned from the Book of Marsabul, but it is grim indeed.
Ooh, session play.
Alas, that Balin, son of Fundin, believed he could reclaim Moria but with a small force. As the Company of the Ring learned, the number of the orcs and the might of Durin's Bane could not easily be turned aside.
All right. So I'm not really sure what else I can mention here. I am working to get the event schedule updated to be far more populated than it is now, because right now we've got nothing beyond the skirmish event. Part of that is we've had a shift in who's doing what regarding the world event system and approvals therein in the marketing department, so it's running a little late. We're getting a new process up and running and such. But it should be done hopefully soon. I was hoping to get it done this week, but as I was starting to put in some of the dates, I was like, this can't be right. So, sorry it's taking a little longer than usual to get the event calendar updated, but it is something that we are working on. I am working to do in the near future.
You need a minion, Jerry.
We don't currently have a Yuletide Encore planned. I don't know. There, just isn't time between now and the Spring Festival really to get one in. So I'm thinking that means perhaps this summer we could do like a kind of a summer in July or a winter in July sort of thing. I'll lower the in-game music. Okay. You cannot
It is a bit
hear
loud.
me. It is fairly powerful music here, so it's kind of bombastic.
I like how we get the dwarven headbutt as one of our main skills in this.
Yeah. You know this stream is a fan of the Dwarven Headbutt.
But unlike the one that we get for playing a dwarf and having that thing, this one sadly does not. This one actually gives you better,
Yeah, I was like, what, 3,000 some damage there? I wish.
I got 4,000.
We need to make the Dwarven Headbutt the most OP thing in
Oh, yeah.
Letro.
Heaven forfend the dwarves be OP.
Yep. So the next producer's letter, it's hard to say because it has to kind of go through a legal process before we can really get it out for localization and such. We just need to make sure that everyone's on the same page with our, the various IP rights holders and things like that. So, assuming that takes, maybe a week or so, and we can get it then out for localization in about a week or so. Should be within the next couple of weeks, hopefully. 2 to 3 weeks is what I would estimate the timeline to be a date of publish. Because we're not going to release it until we have it localized, and we can't get it localized till it's approved. And that is the reality of how it works. I have not heard of plans to adjust the Anvil boss one ads. We're getting close, though, on a whole bunch of different efforts, so it should be a pretty exciting couple of months here on Lord of the Rings Online, I think. It's just going to be... We're right on the cusp of being able to talk a whole lot more about a whole lot more, so... For now, sit back and enjoy the Omens skirmish event if you're into that. And some of the other bonus days. Get ready for... what, Moria on the Legendary server if you're not and want to be. I kind of like the Horn Blast too, that's not bad.
That's a good solid thing.
Yeah, and I like that Blade Fury too.
Lexicon skirmishes will be turned on the Legendary servers when Moria arrives. That's already been announced. But I understand folks on the Legendaries would want to participate in the skirmish event.
Yeah, it's not ready for them yet. That's just the reality of it. Content-wise, it's not really up to date and such, so it'll be there eventually. Yeah, man, that one AoE cut attack, Blade Fury, does pretty good.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the range of skills and, you know, abilities you get when you never do session play, because it's never quite the same as an actual class. And sometimes, like, I wish I had that skill on my actual character, but yeah, they're hybrids.
Yeah. That's true. On my personal character, I wasn't flagged for all the skirmishes yesterday either. I did run a couple of skirmishes, though, and I had a really good time with that.
Yeah, skirmishes are fun. They're a good way to level with friends. And then Lexicon realization is correct. Some of the skirmishes are post legendary content, so...
I know that Vastin is busy working on Burglar at the moment. You know, we didn't get much Burglar work in on this most recent patch. So all that really happened on Burglar at this point was there was some normalization work done, you know, skill and stat normalization, the kind of thing that Vastin's been doing for, what, a year plus now. But the more comprehensive burglar stuff is going to be coming in our next patch. Probably, I think that's... I don't know what the time frame is on that. But it'll be on the forums and that as well. He's actually been talking some already about the burglars. So, hopefully that'll be here sooner rather than later. We are aware that, although I was not personally aware at the time exactly, but we apparently nerfed Minstrel a little bit more than anticipated at, say, level 50-ish, that sort of thing. And that's just the reality of that normalization work. However, it should still be perfectly viable to be playing your Minstrel at these levels, and if further work needs to be done, we will do so. There is some other Minstrel work that's being done. It just... not yet ready to share. I will let Vastin share that information with you. This looks like a damage thing, but it's a healing thing. Full gear. How is the 64-bit client coming along? Good. Very good. We should have news to share fairly soon about that. Which is good. Exciting. Right. No, you won't. You ain't gonna touch me, bro. Oh my gosh, 56,000. Well, maybe you will. That's a lot of orcs. Oh my gosh. And cave trolls. I'm guessing this is one of the instances where I'm just supposed to fight until I die, huh?
Yes, this is a lore moment. We cannot get out.
Sorry, no plans to release a Portuguese translation for the game. Please let the devs know that change in texture size or the changes to texture cache were most welcome and have made a load of difference by reducing, eliminating crashing, at least on your system. That's the hope. It's not going to solve everyone's problems, but for those who can benefit from it, it's supposed to make a pretty good difference there. So. Aaron, over on Facebook, I am actually answering questions over in Twitch chat, in addition to Facebook and YouTube.
This time. We must prepare for the storm.
The company of Balin, son of Fundin, came to a foul end in the dark halls of Moria. Durin's Bane is gone, but many orcs still dwell within those halls. Can the returning dwarves maintain their hold? The orcs prepare for war, and the dwarves must do the same.
We must make the Chamber of the Crossroads ready for war.
Linethorn, has SSG considered bringing back sturdy steel keys and making them able to open the travelers' loot boxes because nobody wants to use their black steel keys in the low-level loot boxes when those keys are needed at max level? If you made the sturdy steel keys for the lower-level loot boxes and decrease the price to, say, something else, it would get people buying those keys? No. The intention is to have a one-key solution for all of your loot box wants. Spam. Let me take care of that.
Loud movie coming.
Okay. Yeah, that was a loud movie.
We must make the Chamber of the Crossroads ready for war. I have need of your great skill.
Stand and speak with me. The fate of Khazad-dûm hangs in the balance.
Go down to the bottom of the well. Huh? Yeah? Really? That really seemed like a good idea?
Oh, you've been down the well before.
Yeah.
Jump and die, Jerry. Jump and die. Except you weren't supposed to jump and die.
That's true, but I did.
Pick up quests up in here. Oh, you're starting. Another. What's chapter 1?
Yes.
Oh, right. I'm catching up on the quests.
So I know that I had to take some action, but someone was upset with the thing and was kind of spamming the Twitch chat.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry about that, folks. I appreciate the passion. In general, I try to be pretty tolerant about that kind of thing, but sometimes I gotta do what I gotta do.
One thing I do like about this channel, and one thing I like to help do, is to keep the channel civil and respectful of the devs, everybody else in chat. And I get that people get upset about things, but there's a time and place, and this is not the time or the place.
Should I fast travel to Deep Descent or Orc Watch?
Well, you can't fast travel. Where are you going?
I'm by Wani, the Stable Master. Actually, I should look at my inventory again.
You're in the rotting cellar, but you didn't find the bottom of the well.
Yeah, I know, right? Where's the bottom of the well?
You jumped in it.
Oh, I just didn't actually keep swimming?
Yeah, there's a place down at the bottom of the well that you have to actually get to trigger the next step.
Okay. That explains that then.
Incoming!
How do I dive down?
You're just... Yeah, I don't know. Follow the arrow, but the weird thing is my character's stuck. Oh, there I go.
I'm also aware that some people feel we're a little too restrictive in Twitch chat here, and I don't have a good solution to that at the moment, but
Well,
please be aware that I'm aware of both sides of this argument. So what am I supposed to be doing here? Get it.
sock puppet accounts are not welcome in chat, kids. So, my theory of moderating, and we don't talk about moderating much,
I actually would actually prefer that we not. Let's take that offline.
Yes, sir.
But I do need help finding these stupid coins. Why are they not there? Dark and shallow water, but I'm over there and it's red. Is it up on the stone here, do you know?
I'm on my way. We'll find out.
Yeah. Oh, here's a goblin corpse. Okay, but this is what it is. Yep, there we go. Yeah, the corpses do kind of blend in a little bit. But now that I know what I'm looking for, there we go. Okay. Newt toxin. Do people still use newts for any kind of medicinal purposes in 2018 Earth?
I'm sure somebody does.
Glowworm.
I really like the glowworms.
A little bit different from the 80s version.
True, true.
Leeches are still used. That one I know is absolutely true. I know maggots can have their uses as well. How do I like Moria? Can I imagine it filled with players soon? Yes and yes, actually. I've been very much enjoying my time in Moria, despite kind of getting lost here a little bit today. I've had a good time in here so far. It's been nice. Do I know of any Runekeeper changes planned for the future? No. I think the focus is going to be on Minstrel a little bit before Runekeeper. I think Minstrel is in a position that they need a little bit more work yet. And Runekeeper is not really that terrible a place for the most part. I mean, your mileage may vary, but overall, Runekeepers and well, maybe that was overly broad a statement. Specifically, as we've been focusing on healing issues in recent classwork, Runekeeper is not in very bad a place healing-wise right now. Would you say that that's accurate?
Sounds about right to me.
Yep.
Where are you?
I'm using Newt Toxin. I'm Newt Toxining.
Well, I found the guy that would help us find the bottom of the well. Would you stop standing in the fire?
We will be doing additional classwork. We're not done with classwork by any means, so there's still plenty of time to work on things like wardens and champions and you know, the ones that we get frequently asked to do work on. So we'll see what we can do there. Well, oh, hey, here's a place to jump from. Where am I jumping from? What am I doing? There we go. I have actually considered on one of the next characters that I create for a thing of being a warden. I know that some people have also said, you know, I should feel my pain, as it were, play a warden. So perhaps it's something I can do in the relatively near future. I would like to, actually.
The Orcs of Moria have much to account for.
All right, so we are at 12:57, so this seems like about as good a place as any to probably call it a show for the day. Let me, before I do that though, go one more round of questions here and do one other thing here. So, yes, Lotro Team says Runekeeper is great. No. I was just kind of talking off the top of my head. I think Runekeeper, healing-wise, is in a pretty good place, but I'm sure we have additional work. All right, before I call it a show, I wanted to show off this we got in the mail this week from Extra Life. Let's see if I can... There we go. A really nice medal. We were the top fundraisers of the year for the Boston Children's Hospital, which was extremely cool. And they sent us this nice medal as a reward. So we're going to be hanging it up in the office, I think. And I just wanted to put that out on stream and say thank you to all the Extra Life folks for doing that. And of course, you who made this all happen.
Those of you who donated so much that you're going to be wearing a kilt at PAX East.
This is true.
And you still have to schedule a time that you're going to bring your flute into the office and play for us.
Yeah, I actually have been working a little bit as to what I might be able to play, and I've been thinking about that a little bit. That should happen sooner rather than later. So, all right. Well, thank you very much for watching Court of the Rings here on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I understand you're going to be taking over here for Corey in just a couple minutes. Druid's Fire. What you got on the works?
I'm actually going to be playing my Mythgard tune. I was thinking of actually playing the one on Honor for a change. And looking at our brand new Shiny Kin Island that we've got.
Cool. Sounds great. All right. So until next Friday, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.